I don't know. I was just, 55 years ago, I was looking for, what do you do when you're all alone? I mean, just for the evening or something. Uh, and you don't want to listen to music, and you don't want to, there wasn't an internet in those days, but you don't want to read, you're tired of reading, you don't want to listen to music, you just want to like hang out with yourself. What do you do with, with your mind? So that's what took me to Sri Lanka, and my teacher and the meditation center and all that. Anyway, so I mean, meditation is really about becoming comfortable with yourself. How do you hang out with yourself and it's bearable without without doing anything else, without exercising or dancing or singing or listening to music or reading a book or something. If you don't want to do all that kind of stuff, what do you do to just be comfortable with yourself? And that's where insight meditation, vipassana meditation, mindfulness meditation, same thing, all of them. That's where that comes in. And what you do is pay attention to yourself. What does my mind do? What does my body do? What's it doing right now? I mean, I was running late this evening, and I was starting to feel rushed, or, oh, am I going to get, and then I went, okay, I'm feeling rushed. I'm worrying about whether I'll be on time. Anyways, I paid attention to what I'm doing right now. And then I got calm. And I wasn't swept off about worrying, am I going to be on time? Or is there enough charge in my iPad? Or all this other kind of mental activity that, that the mind likes to participate in. But you can get tired of, it gets old, the constant dialogue, and it frequently goes places that doesn't work out that well. You end up beating up on yourself, or regretting what you did, or wishing something else was, all these different things that the mind does. But if you just focus on what the mind is doing, if you're there with it rather than being swept away by it, you can get comfortable. It's like, oh, I'm thinking about whether I'm going to be late, I'm hurrying, I'm wondering, thinking about what I should do and all that. Yeah, you start with the body. The body's easier, okay, I'm sitting, I'm itching, I'm crossing my legs, I'm getting up, I'm walking to the other room, I'm washing the dishes. The body is easier to observe than the mind. The mind's a lot faster than the body. The body is much easier to keep track of. So you start with the body. But ultimately, you pay attention to the body and the mind. Whatever is going on. If you're itching, you pay attention to itching. If you're hearing a bird in a tree, then you pay attention to hearing. That's what you're doing. And it's amazing if you know what you're doing when you do it. There's a whole comfort level and freedom from being dragged around by the mind. Frequently, if you know what you're thinking, you don't have to do what you're thinking. Like, you know, a normal person is sitting watching television and an advertisement for ice cream comes on the screen. He goes, oh, ice cream. Oh, I like ice cream. I want ice cream. I get up, I go, I get my keys, I go down to my car, I drive to the store, I buy ice cream, I drive home, and I'll, follow the whole ice cream dialogue. Whereas if you know what you're doing, you can think, oh, yeah, ice cream, I like ice cream. And it's over. You don't have to get up and go drive and get it and eat it and all that. It's just simply thoughts passing through the mind. It's not commands, thou shalt get ice cream. It's just the mind entertaining itself with thoughts of ice cream or coffee or television or whatever. The mind is constantly seeking distraction, really. Do something. I want to do something with it, And you find after a while that that's kind of oppressive, that all these thoughts and desires and everything have you constantly going, and doing stuff, wanting things and needing stuff and not liking and wanting to get away from and wanting to go towards and all that. And in between wanting and not wanting, in the middle, is a very quiet space and a very comfortable space that isn't being drawn over here or pushed away from over there, aversion to that, desire for this, back and forth, I want that, I don't want this, blah, 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 blah. And then in between is peace, sometimes referred to as happiness. And I mean, normally in the world, happiness is fulfillment of sense desires, of what you want, getting what you want, riding on a roller coaster, going to Starbucks, getting a car, going to the beach. I mean, these things are fine to do, but if you're constantly being dragged around, needing these things, it gets oppressive, especially if you want to just chill. Well, back to my original, what do you do if you want to chill? If you just want to sit quietly at home or lay on the couch and just be peaceful? Well, then you contemplate your mind and your body. It's amazing. You don't have to go anywhere, buy anything, no paraphernalia required. You got everything you need right in your mind and body. And all the secrets of the universe, happiness, enlightenment, it's all right here. It isn't you don't have to go somewhere to get it. It's always with you. And that's a wonderful thing. And I think, there's been many influential and impressive teachers and everything, but it's hard to find one with a reputation and a track record like the Buddha. For 2,500 years, people have been, learning about his teaching, practicing it, getting results, and it's really popular now. I spent 3.5 years in Sri Lanka, formerly Ceylon, studying Buddhism. And then when I came back, it was like 1971. And there wasn't hardly anything there weren't Buddhist sitting groups or yoga studios or hardly anything. There was some karate, you know, there was, but not much. Anyways, it's amazing what's happened in the last 50 years. Like Nico said, you know, in LA, there's like, oh my God, just a huge pantheon. Anything you can think of, you know, or not think of, they've got. And on the internet also, you know, there's all kinds of, there's Eckhart Tolle and Buddhist monks and Sadhguru and Tibetan lamas and Qigong and, you know, anything more than you could ever even think of. So, which, I mean, is kind of good, but it's kind of also like too much selection sometimes is can be burdensome. You know, it's like when Honda first brought cars to the United States, they came in 4 colors, you know, white, black, red, and blue. And they're all equipped the same. So you go to the Honda dealer and you decide what color you want, bingo, that's your car. You know, now, you know, the variety of choices is, you know, unbelievable, especially in a place like Los Angeles, you know, that's just, I mean, every car maker in the world. And then if you don't want one of those, there's a bunch of places that'll make a car for you. You know, you tell them what you want, they'll build it. So that's good, but, you know, I'm not sure it creates happiness. People want a new car, they want another job, they want a new boyfriend, they want a new girlfriend, they want a certain kind of watch. Really what they want is happiness. And they think that happiness is going to be found in the objects of their desire. And happiness is found in your own mind. And the only kind of happiness that is going to last and is predictable and everything is in your mind. It isn't in a car. And you get that car and somebody runs into it. Oh my God, my beautiful, expensive car now is a pile of junk, you know, or it has to go to be repaired. It'll never be the same and all that. So the objects in the world are very transitory. And you get one car and pretty soon you see another one that you like better also. Or a girl, or a man, or a, you know, the mind's always changing. And it loves something and then it gets over it. And then it wants something else. I thought I loved this car, but now it's 2 years old. It's 2 years old and there's a new version of another kind of car. And I think that's better. So I'm going to buy that, you know, because that'll make me happy. Anyway, but if you're happy in yourself, with yourself, then you can really have a freedom about cars and girls and boys and food and all that when you don't need them. That doesn't mean you don't get them. You don't get a new car. It's nice to have a new car, but to have a new car and to be attached to that car, you know, that kind of, it takes the fun out of it. But if you're already happy, and then you get in your new car and you enjoy it, and then somebody runs into it and you go, oh, well, easy come, easy go. It was just a car. It's not me. So that's to a great extent, that's what's directing people towards self development. Is, if you can do it all in yourself, wow, that's great. What could be simpler? You don't have to buy a new car. You don't have to go to the whatever. You can, but you don't have to, because you're happy. Anyways, short course on happiness. And geez, I try not to read the news, but oh my God, it's like, is this real? I pull up an internet news site and I go, what? Are these things really happening? And it's, I don't know, it's more dangerous to seek happiness in the world, I think, than it used to be. I mean, boy, it's just, they're going crazy out there. So simpler, easier happiness maybe than going to a rock concert with 20,000 other people, or that kind of thing is getting to be a little more dicey than it used to be. Anyway, so what we do is when we meditate, and this is the mindfulness, basic mindfulness, is you observe what your body's doing and you note what it's doing. Oh, I'm sitting. I'm scratching, I'm itching. And then your mind, I don't want to sit here. Oh, no, not wanting. Want to get up. Wanting. You follow what your body and what your mind are doing and understand what they're doing. I'm wanting to go to the movies. I'm wanting ice cream. I'm hearing a sound. I'm picturing a bird. Oh, I think that's a bird. I'm thinking. That's the way we create our life story, is by what we hear, see, think, taste, touch. It's the only way we do it. We have these input sense organs, and we take what they, like you don't hear a bird in the tree. Your ear picks up vibrations. And then your mind goes, oh, that's a sound. Oh, I think I recognize that sound. I think that's a bird. And then you picture a bird. And this is how we create our story, our life, is by thinking about what our senses are experiencing, basically. And we create a movie that's my life. And we have memories that, that used to be my life. And we have hopes, and that hopefully will be my life. And the mind is doing all this. It's creating a movie. And that's fine if it's a good movie, a wholesome movie that always brings happiness and welcome results, cheerful moods, contentment, peace, and all those things. If it's not doing that, if it's bringing not always, but if it's bringing disappointment, resentment, depression, loneliness, fears, well, then we don't like those things. So if you deal with all of them, if you're aware of the happiness, aware of the unhappiness, it takes the power away. Oh, now I'm fearing. Now I'm feeling depressed. It's amazing if you know what you're doing. For one thing, if you know right away what you're doing, it doesn't take off and snowball and turn into a major disappointment or something like that. If you know what you're doing, it stays in the present. It doesn't snowball into unwanted states of mind. So that's the key to happiness. Know what you're doing. Pay attention. It's the thing that has struck me after all these years is it's so simple. So simple. It's not complicated. You don't have to understand this vast cosmic construction or hidden forces and in all that kind of stuff. It's so simple. It's so simple that it eludes people. They think it's complex. And it's so simple that you just think, oh, it couldn't be that simple. It is. The truth is simple. What's complicated is the mind. It's what the mind does in the presence of truth. We're always, pardon me?
I'm not sure what that was.
We're living in the presence of truth every minute, but our mind is spinning it, putting a story to it. Oh, no, that couldn't be it. That can't be the truth. No, the truth is more beautiful or more wonderful, or it has to do with God, or constantly complicating the simplicity of life.
But we have to get there with a practice, right?
Yeah.
In the beginning.
You do.
You have to make the effort to work with a technique. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to be simple now in alignment with the truth all the time. I mean, you can hope for that, but it takes training. You have to train your mind, first of all, to want it, to want the truth. Second of all, to be comfortable with it when you come across it. Because the truth frequently is contrary to what we would like it to be. And people spend all kinds of time running from the truth because they're afraid of it. And it's actually not that, it's usually better than the fantasy that you've got. It's simpler, it's easier, it's more comfortable. Oh, yeah, oh, I can do that, rather than spend a whole lot of time running from it and trying to escape it and all that. But human nature, you're dealing with human nature.
David, remind me the name of your manuscript. For some reason, it's out of my head.
Insight meditation?
No, the one that's on your website.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna tell Nico, so David has a website that's under construction. It's been under construction forever, but there is something on there. It's his booklet. For some reason, the whole thing just went out of my head, but it's a PDF and you can download it, and it's really, it will really help explain the Mahasi practice.
Yeah, simple instructions.
Simple instructions, and a lot of people really get a lot out of that. So you should.
The website is mindmoment.net.
Yeah.
Mindmoment.net.